everybody, welcome back to a culinary journey here at Monadnock Flooring in the Design Center. And we're going to make our last pasta dish. Make sure we got our heat going on perfectly. A little olive oil. This idea about the cream being a good conduit to flavor, let's put it that way. It's, you know, that whole culinary journey concept just brought through the cream. And we're going to finish our last one where a lot of people always ask me for a vegetarian option that has a lot of fun flavors like tomatoes and peppers and onions. Well, we're going to make that right now with our cream sauce. And joining me in our last segment, again, as the whole time, and a bottle of wine later, are Matt and Ron, the flooring guys here at Monadnock Flooring. How's it going, guys?
Great.
You having a good time on the show?
Food is fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's getting everybody hungry at home, which is a good thing. Well, we're going to start very similar to the way we started before, which was shallots and garlic and starting to get our flavors incorporated in a hot pan. Now, one thing you might have noticed if you've been watching the show straight through is that I'm using the same concept. And you don't have to use the same ingredients. The same concept in cooking is getting the pan hot with the oil and then starting to cook my ingredients little by little and layering flavor. And that's really what you want to do. You don't need to take away a recipe from the show every time, but taking away the idea of how to prepare one pan, make it easy, that's what I'd love you to bring home. So let's start with that. I'm going to just reach over and make sure I get my towel for this segment because I never want to be without it. We'll get those shallots cooking. What I'm going to add to the shallots are some pre-roasted grape tomatoes, these are grape tomatoes. I actually pre-roasted them in the oven. You could do them straight from raw. That works out well too. And then we're going to also add some peppers. And we're just going to cut those down. Hey, come back here. And what I like is different textures and different flavors. We're going to get a little crunch. We'll get a little soft. We get the sweet acidity from the tomatoes. And then we're going to get a nice crunch and pepperiness from the peppers. So we'll get those in there cooking. Right? We got that. And, you know I talked about not using onion, but sometimes I got the shallots in there. Sometimes a little red onion goes a long way. So let's just get that going. And we're going to just kind of do a long julienne. Again, not too long, but just enough so that you know it's going to fit on the fork, right? You ever have onion soup? I'm going to do an onion soup show with my mom someday, but you ever have onion soup and the onions are just way too long and they hang off the spoon? Well, we don't want to do that in what we're doing. Now we're getting some nice caramelization. If you check out the pan, you'll see some nice browning on the shallots, and we're going to let the vegetables caramelize. It's bringing out their natural sugars. So we're going to just let that go on. You know, we always talk about every show, what are the differences between what a chef does at home and what a chef does in a restaurant? What you're watching is it. I'm talking right through this because I really want it to caramelize. As I flip this, I'm starting to get these brown spots on everything that really are getting that caramelization going and bringing out more flavor. So guys, so far so good?
Smells
like
great.
Those flavors?
Yeah.
And you see, I'm not afraid to just let it cook. I'm on medium-high heat. This kind of takes some time to really get used to letting yourself do. I mean, walking away and just letting it cook and feel comfortable with. But once you get that, that's where you get the intensity of flavors. Now this pan, again, well, we're at medium. This pan, what's great about it, it's even heat. It can lose some of that oil and still cook, which is great. You don't need a lot of oil in there. We're going to add lemon juice to this too. Remember, guys, I love lemon juice. Whoa, we're going to almost deglaze the pan with the lemon juice. That looks good. We lost a seed in there, but that's okay. And then we'll deglaze with a little bit of white wine too. And white wine, especially with tomatoes, white wine likes to extract even more flavors. Tomatoes give more flavor. The peppers give more flavor with a little white wine. So your alcohol works great. Now, some people will say, well, what do you do if you don't want alcohol in there? A little water or chicken stock or vegetable stock work well also. So let's get a little more seasoning in there.
You can smell the difference already.
You see that?
Yeah, you can.
How that comes out. And we'll put our little roasted garlic a little bit later on. We don't want that to burn too early, but roasted garlic doesn't burn like we showed in the other segments. If you're using fresh garlic, definitely add it at this point. All right, so we got our flavors. Last thing I want to add is start adding some color. This is broccolini that was pre-blanched. A broccolini is, let's say, a cross between broccoli and broccoli rabe. Broccoli rabe, a little bit bitter, has a little heavy bitter flavor. Broccoli is okay. Broccolini, marriage to the best of both worlds, where you could eat the stem and everything. Look like little baby broccoli almost. And then this is the point where we add our cream, right? Got all these flavors coming together, and now we just want to bring them together a little tighter. But we don't need a heavy cream sauce for this. I don't want a heavy, heavy cream sauce like we did with the vodka or the Alfredo, but just enough so we have a sauce for our pasta. So far, so good, huh?
Smells great.
Looks good. Then we're going to add, lastly, a couple of last-minute items, a little bit of goat cheese. Now, you don't have to add the goat cheese. I like goat cheese when it's combined with a couple of different things. It is a little pungent, you know, a little less than gorgonzola might be, but it's got some nice complexity and flavor that just kind of goes through the whole dish. And we'll just let that kind of soften up in there. I don't want it to be, I don't want the goat cheese to be cooked through so it's soft. I just want to be able to let it soften so that way you get a little bit of cold too from the goat cheese. Some fresh herbs. And my final touch. Think this is complicated enough, all these items? A little bit of arugula pesto for some bitter. And that'll give it even more green. So we'll kind of mix all that together. Our nice vegetable sauce. Watch how good this comes out. And then we're going to add our pasta. Once again, following the same routine we've been doing all day, is adding your pasta to the sauce. And we're using here orecchiette, which mean little ears. Okay. And that's actually what they are. Actually, when you look at orecchiette, when they're made fresh, they're made with a thumbprint. There I go, sticking my finger in the sauce, but this one will come out. But they're actually made with a thumbprint. You see that? I talk about that on the radio show all the time. I can never really show it, but now I can. There you go. All right. You didn't think that was going to happen. It's all the wine we've been drinking on the show. So we just add that. We'll give it a little more heat. And these guys don't mind that my fingers were in their pasta, I hope, so we'll find out. But we'll bring this over here. And vibrant colors, right,
Very
guys?
nice.
You know, there's great flavors, vibrant colors, all those great things. There you go, you got a lot of broccolini. And you get the rest of that, sir.
Nice.
There you go.
I think I'll get attacked for that.
Yeah. And now, if you like, you can add a little bit of fresh goat cheese over the top or some Parmigiano, but I think you're going to enjoy it the way it is. And this is our vegetable dish. So while these guys jump in, I want to thank Matt and Ron. I want to thank Matt and Ron for the great job that putting this whole place together here at Monadnock Flooring. And I want to thank you for watching our show. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves, guys. Right?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good. It was
Yes.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed the experience. And I'll see you next time on A Culinary Journey.